Check. Okay, great. Okay, we're going to go ahead and get started. Thank you all for coming this morning. My name is Lynn Bowman. I'm the Executive Director of Equality Ohio, Ohio's statewide education and advocacy organization, focusing on issues related to sexual orientation, gender identity, and expression, specifically the lesbian, gay, bisexual, transgender community. On behalf of our board and the many people whose lives will be changed by this legislation passing, we want to thank Representatives Stewart and McGregor for their leadership on this very important issue. Today, House Bill 176, what we're calling the Equal Housing and Employment Act, begins its path towards Governor Strickland's desk. This is a bill whose time has come. We currently live in a state where it is legal to fire someone or deny them a place to live simply because of their sexual orientation or gender identity. It is time for Ohio to remove the barriers at our borders that tell people they are not welcome in our state if they are gay, lesbian, bisexual, or transgender. We are not asking for something that is uncommon. 20 states in the District of Columbia, 433 of the Fortune 500 companies, 11 of Ohio's 13 public four-year universities, 16 Ohio cities, the House of Representatives, and the Ohio Senate already ban discrimination based on sexual orientation. It is time that all Ohio cities and villages, all Ohioans, have the same protections from discrimination, regardless of where they live, work, or play. Non-discrimination, a call for basic equal treatment and human kindness, is not a partisan issue. It is not a controversial issue. It should not be a difficult issue to support. It is time that the entire Ohio legislature joins the more than 25% of the Ohio House members who have sponsored the legislation and the 72% of Ohioans who support the passage of this bill and vote for fairness and equal protection. It's time to do what's right for Ohio and Ohioans. It's time for our laws to match our values. It's time for the passage of the Equal Housing and Employment Act, House Bill 176. The public supports it, our top business leaders embrace it, and fairness demands it. We are pleased again this year to have strong bipartisan primary sponsors in the House in our friends Representatives Ian Stewart and Ross McGregor. Also speaking today, we have from the Ohio Civil Rights Commission, the Executive Director Mike King, and down from Toledo, Greg Fosnoff, who will share her story with you. We're going to start with our Representatives Stewart and McGregor.
Well, thank you, Lynn. I am delighted today to be offering with my friend and joint sponsor, Representative McGregor, sponsored testimony on House Bill 176. And I want to say at the outright, to make this very clear, this is not about marriage. It has nothing to do with marriage. I want to make that very, very clear. This is not about special rights or special privileges. It is equitable treatment based on the same rights and opportunities that all Ohioans have. And we want a fair opportunity to make sure that everybody has the right to live, work, and be productive members here in Ohio. And I think that, as Lynn mentioned, we have over 20 states now that have passed similar legislation. Most of the Fortune 500 companies have done this. The majority of Ohio's universities. The governor has issued a declaration on state employees. It is time, as Lynn said, to pass the Equal Housing and Employment Act. I've seen, I think, a change over the years since we first started working on this legislation, and I think it's really been about education. It's about making clear that all Ohioans should have the same rights, not special rights, but have the same rights. And I think that we've seen that in a number of cities passing this, counties, and a number of organizations, business organizations, have this type of policy, but we want to ensure that everyone. I've had the opportunity, I guess, over the years to hear from many Ohioans through lobby days and great efforts by organizations like Equality Ohio to hear from individuals of all types who have experienced discrimination in the workplace or in housing accommodations. From folks who have lost their jobs in prestigious architecture firms to young lesbian couples who, with advanced degrees, have made a decision to leave Ohio because of the money that they put in to their academic career for fear that they may lose their job once they've achieved employment. We don't want to be in Ohio saying no to the best and the brightest. We do not want to have a sign that says you're not welcome here. In today's economy, we want to bring all the best and brightest to Ohio. We have had over the years a brain drain in Ohio. At one point, and still may be the case that Ohio ranked #1 in 18 to 40-year-olds leaving their state. This is just one other obstacle that we can eliminate and ensure that all Ohioans have equal opportunity. And we want to continue to build a stronger Ohio, and we want to do it for everyone. So I think Lynn Bowman is right that it is coming time to pass House Bill 176. I look forward to hearings in the State Government Committee that I serve on, and I feel a very strong support for this. I think it's really been a bit of a sea change over the last year or two, where people finally understand what this is really all about. So I expect to have full hearings in the House State Government Committee, and I think we have the support. When you have over a quarter of the House of Representatives as co-sponsors, you feel pretty strong about a piece of legislation. So I'm looking forward to full hearings, and I think we have the support to finally bring Ohio to a place where we can say equal opportunity to everyone. So I'd like to now turn this over to my friend and joint sponsors, Representative McGregor.
Thank you, Dan. Thank you, everyone, for joining us this morning. I just want to briefly echo much of what Dan has already said and how pleased I am to be a joint sponsor on this legislation. It is time. I approach this not only personally from what I feel is just the right thing to do, but I also look at it as a business person. I am an additive manufacturer in Springfield, Ohio. My family employs many people in a business in manufacturing, and I can tell you right now, we need talented people. And the last thing that anybody should be doing in this economy is trying to determine whether or not somebody should have a job or a place to live based on their sexual orientation. It's just not